You can ask questions.
Oh, okay. Well, let's hear who you are first.
Okay. Newell Johnson, pediatrician from Covina, or originally from Covina for this story. And it's a story about the Edgewood Family Counseling Agency. I arrived in Covina in 1952, and I was the only pediatrician in the area for a couple of years anyway. And in getting familiar with the town, which was growing as everything in that area was growing at that time, I became involved with the Coordinating Council, which is a community organization that kind of looks at the community and tries to figure out where problems are and what to do about them. And one of the problems that came up was the lack of mental health facilities, and also the League of Women Voters were at that time also interested in that. And statewide there was a lot of mental health talk. It was a time of the short Doyle legislation, and so a lot of lobbying needed to be done to the state and to the Board of Supervisors and so forth to try to get some action, community action in that area. I became interested in the family service phase of it, I guess. I was aware that there was a Family Service Association of America, and I contacted them, and also the State Department of Mental Health, and I got information from the Family Service Association, and they sent a consultant out, actually, who was very helpful in designing or informing us what proper facilities we should have for doing this project. And as time went by, we were able to get some funds from the state through the mental health unit, and it's accepted by the United Way, and we started the Edgewood Family Counseling Agency. I think it opens its doors about in May of 1957. The first director was a man by the name of Sid Tice, who is still in this area at this point. And we had a board of directors and all of the legal papers we needed for a community organization. The board was very active and the community was very active, but it was a struggle back then because of the short Doyle was new, and there was still opposition to that kind of activity in the community, so it was a struggle.
What was short Doyle? That was legislation?
Yeah, that was a mental health thing, a mental health law
that provided money for
organizations that were doing mental health activities.
And before that there was nothing, or very little?
I don't know. There wasn't anything in our area because the Covina area, I think at that point was about roughly 140,000. East San Gabriel Valley was about 140,000, and there were about 6 or 7 small communities in that area, encompassing the Edgewood area, the Edgewood Fulton area, and so that was the area we chose to represent. And they all remained faithful to it over the period of time.
And it provided low cost or free mental health services?
Yeah, there was a sliding scale. They had a sliding scale, but usually, by present standards, the fees were really quite low, and the salaries were quite low to the people we had servicing us with well-trained people. But nowadays, the money would have been pittance in terms of what is used now. 50 years ago, right after World War II.
So you were associated with them for?
I probably was associated with them from 57 into the maybe the middle 60s, and I decided that I didn't want it to develop into a one-man show, so I turned the board over to other people and moved into other activities. I thought it was important that other members of the community get a chance to work in this kind of a field.
Mm-hmm. And now, presently, the name of it is Santa Anita Family Service. And
I think that's a continuation of what was started at the Edgewood Family Agency.
And they have a branch in Covina, and they have another office or two in other parts of the valley, I think.
It could be Arcadia.
Yes, I think that's right. Yeah. So,
it was an interesting time. Contacted a lot of people, professionals in all over LA County and at the state level, and gradually we worked out a plan as to how to get the whole thing going. But it took a fair amount of time, and a lot of people contacted, and it's nice to know that it's still continuing with another name.